My bad. My bad. Wrong show. What's going on, people? What's going on, people? This is the Six Man Convo with your host, Six Man K Styles in the building. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, people? What is going on, man? This is your boy Six Man K Styles, aka the Silver Foxes in the building. And to my stage left, as you know, Mad Mike Sports, aka Senator Palpatine.
Execute or die 66.
And right below me, we have the Summer Hill Nightmare. We have the Don in the building.
It's showtime, folks.
And joining us as well, you may know him as the world's strongest man. We know
What's
him as
happening?
Travis, but y'all call him LT. What's happening, homie?
What's happening? What's happening?
All right, all right. So let's go ahead, man. Mike, what do we got for these people today, man? It's those three special words. It is the real.
Roll down.
All right. That was
Okay,
a
that was my Bruce Lee impression. I love Bruce Lee.
that was a mix of Bruce Lee, constipation, and butt nussology. What the
Shit, I
hell?
always
Yeah,
got
that-
damn
oh,
line. Shit, I ain't. You got that damn right. I am constipated.
You got
Oh,
Dave Chappelle.
Goddamn crying and shit.
Bruce Street.
In the street.
I'm
I hope
hell. We be constipated here. We eating chili tonight, so I'm gonna be constipated for real, y'all.
oh God.
I
I
thought
don't
chili
even
does the
wanna know.
opposite, but I digress.
But hey, man, we all got food over here, man. So today, man, we're gonna kick it off with Bubba Gump, Robert Ponder, Tony Hall, Pat Norris, Sherman Wood, Eric Matt, Wavy 2 times, Michael Walker, Brian Peoples, King Treyway, Terry Lloyd, John St. Clair. We got ATL Leo. We got Devon in the building. We got Andrew G. We got Sonia in the building.
Nice on you.
Albert Sandoval. D. Cole. Auntie Pam in the building.
Yeah, baby.
Jonta Rozier. And we got Dreddy. So we got 32 people in here right now. Make sure everybody go ahead and hit that like button as we start this program, which would be highly appreciated. And subscribe to Six Man K Styles, where it's all about the conversation and the conversation that is needed and only the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, DJ, let's cut that beat. All right, fellas, what's going on, fellas? How we doing on this candy day?
Yeah, I just stole my nephew candy. He had the Snickers. I took that shit.
Oh yeah. Candy has been stole by the ops and shit. You already know how that shit goes. But let's also go ahead and get right into it, as everybody knows of a lot of the big news of the trade deadline. Fellas, I want to go ahead and get your takes on which move kind of surprised you. And are the Falcons did the Falcons miss an opportunity as far as this trade deadline to get some important pieces? So the floor is open to y'all. How y'all want to kick it?
I just want to start with this. As far as the 49ers concerned, I want to speak on them. They're in a move. They're in a place where they're desperate. Like their fans are really calling for everybody's head right now. Because they started off hot and in recent game they just haven't played well defensively, offensively. Um, Offensively they've been stagnant, but uh, I guess for the offense sake, they got enough playmakers. I don't think they can add whether it's an offensive lineman or a wide receiver or a running back. They got all the weapons they can get at this point. So I think them traded for Chase Young was just a desperation move. They're hoping that he can kind of find something. I just don't. I'm not a believer in Chase. I just think he's a big fat athlete. And I mean big fat. What I mean by big and fat athlete, a guy that just he's lazy as far as him actually playing the position the right way, setting the edge, playing with distance, stopping the run, tackling well. All Chase wants to do is just get after the quarterback. So that's what I mean by big fat athlete. And I think this is a desperation move. And if they don't win, they gotta their fan base is gonna be they gonna be hell. They're gonna be calling for Kyle Shanahan's job again if they don't win this year.
All right, LP, what you got on there, man? Any move in particular that caught your eye?
Um, I do see what the Falcons did as far as they grabbed Street. I think that's his name. Um, Grabbed him real quick. Yeah, we grabbed him real quick, and hopes of D line depth, which was very much needed. um, the I know everybody. I know a lot of people is upset that we didn't get Montez Sweat. I get it. I understand the frustrations and all that pizzazz, but at the end of the day, I don't. I don't think we should have matched that offer or extend the offer to grab that man. I think that like a third round pick would have been good, but the Bears upped the ante and gave them a second rounder, which was like in the top 40. So it was like, yeah, Brian, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, they traded Chase Young for a third round pick, but I don't like Mike said. San Francisco is desperate for one. Two, again, since the Falcons been pretty much drafting for the most part, they've been developing players. So I don't think giving away a pick just because you want a guy who's basically fit to be a 10 week a 9 week rental because he's a free agent right after. Like no, that just don't make sense to me at all.
Yeah, pretty much a rental. All right, Don, what you got on it, man?
Oh, my thoughts of the Falcons. We made the trades that we needed. A couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, we got Van Jefferson. All right. And we got the guy from Philadelphia.
Right.
To replace Jerry right now, he's on IR. He's out for the season. I don't know why a lot of fans think we need edge rushers. We really don't need them. Like Lorenzo, he's playing well right now. Ebiketie, he gets in, he's playing well. We know Taquan Graham, Ogundeji's. I think Ogundeji's hurt, and then you have Malone. Those guys are developmental right now. Like we know Nielsen, he's trying to get those guys to understand what they need to do to become premier pass rushers in the NFL. So when you adding a guy like LT just said, a Chase Young, like these guys are looking to get paid after this season. So you got to think to yourself, if you trade to get a Chase Young, we giving away a third round pick, and our picks in the past few years have really been good, and our day two picks for the most part. Um, like I said, I'm not finna give away a third round pick for somebody that I'm just gonna have for several games, and then you got to turn around, either let this man walk in free agency, or you got to get this man a multi-year deal, which Chase Young is gonna ask for at least $18 million a year. We just don't have that, and like I said before, you already have a Chase Young already on the team in Harrison. We just got to be patient and let him develop, and potentially he's gonna be that guy for us.
That guy's a
So
major athlete too. I don't think people realize the type of athlete he is with that
yeah,
size.
yeah. It just like I said, he just gotta. Once the NFL slows down for him, I really can see him being great for us. It just like everybody know who Josh Sweat is for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was a third or fourth round pick for them in 2018,
Right.
and look at him now. Like he's one of their best pass rushers on the team. So I'm not upset. The only thing I wish we could have done, and that's just me like being, a fan and want the team to be better, is to get a center. But however, there is no team out there that's gonna be dumb enough to trade their starting center for a draft pick.
Right.
If tanking or not, ain't no team about to do that. So that's about it. That's all I gotta say.
All right. We got a $5 super chat from Albert Sandoval, said 49ers giving that piece of y'all know what head coach everything he needs, no excuses. John Lynch going his job, wish we got an edge, but not crying over it. And essentially, and kind of going what they were talking about with it being a 9-week rental is because a lot of that team is up for contracts and extensions even within the next year or two.
Exactly.
So this move pretty much is when now move. This is the tricking off move.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, that's one of those things where it can make or break your franchise. Like you said, yes, it makes the Lombardi look promising. It may look it a little bit better at that point in time, but in the long run, tricking off don't always work.
More often than not, it fails in the NFL.
Right. And I want to get this right quick. So, how about Georgia Tech? I was at the game, great game. Yeah, they always beat North Carolina, but yeah, man, hey, we needed that one. Georgia Tech
Mm-hmm.
definitely needed that one.
I
And
like I love King. That's my dude. That's that
mhm.
quarterback. I love him.
Hey, look, hey, look, you actually see a balanced offense for once.
Mm-hmm. That
That
dude can
works
swing
well
it.
together.
He can make all the throws, and he's kind of athletic. I think he's gonna be a sneaky second and third round pick in the draft because he can
Yeah,
make all the throws and he can move a little bit too. He just needs a
yeah.
little bit more seasoning.
Right. But yeah, I'm happy for that one because, like I said, now we finna get really into some very interesting games here. Like I said, we still got Clemson, we still got Georgia, and if I remember correctly, I think we still got Duke. I gotta look at the schedule, so it's gonna be very interesting on how this is gonna play out. But let's see what else we got. Terry Lloyd says, "What do y'all think about Georgia being?" Again, this is a question for you and Mike. What do y'all think about Georgia being number 2 in the BCS rankings?
They full of shit. That's a. I'm not even like big on Georgia this year, but they full of shit for this because no team should be subjected to the schedule because you don't like this. For one, they haven't been beat. No team should lose they spot if they haven't been beat and you're a national champion. They should remain national. They should remain number one just based off that. So if you can't beat them, Why should they drop because of quote unquote strength of schedule? All this had to do is politics in college, and I hate fucking college. But I'm not the biggest Georgia. I want to say fan of this team, but I don't. It's going to be tougher for them to win the 90 this year. Obviously for reasons. I mean, you look at Brock being down, but no team should be. You should drop because you know it's the strength of schedule. That's just my take.
The team should not rise, and I've been wanting to say something about this too. A team should not rise, especially a team that has yet to beat the two teams that's below them. Georgia and Michigan should be 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Ohio State should not be higher than Michigan and Georgia. Michigan
Yeah.
has mopped the floor with Ohio State for the past couple of years, and Georgia beat them in the Peach Bowl last year. So
yeah,
why in the hell Ohio State number 1? I say
Yeah.
this
Whoa.
all the time. This season,
Wait, whoa.
yeah. You're right.
Whoa,
You're right. Man.
Wait a
This
goddamn
college
minute,
football
Rondell.
this
Wait a
college
god-
football, I know this college football playoff, man, it's becoming more of an invitation.
Wait a goddamn minute, Rondell. Okay, you said Ohio State was number 1.
Yes.
You talk about the same. You talk about the same Ohio State team that made me fall asleep 3 games this year watching them.
Yeah, this year.
Yes, that Ohio State.
Oh God.
They're number 1, Georgia number 2, and Michigan's number 3. And I think Florida State. number 4.
So the problem I have about that scenario, for one, you could say it's about strength of schedule. The problem I have, I do not like the fact that we don't get the benefit of the doubt because of that. And I say that because when Alabama was doing it, nobody had a problem. It's Bama, baby. Bama, as my mama could say. But now since Georgia doing it, oh well, y'all strength of schedule, they don't help y'all, so we gonna put y'all at number 2. But no, let's not do that. Please don't do that. That ain't even right. Because why should we take a hit because of quote unquote schedule? Like, we play who in front of us. That's what it is. And on top of that, like, bro, the only game you can see and say we struggled in was South Carolina, in a sense. We beat them 27-20. Everybody else, we marked the floor with. Remember how everybody was on Kentucky drop? And mindful, I was at that game. I was there live on ESPN, and you see what happened. It wasn't close. We hung out nuts on them folks. And they was undefeated. So I don't want to hear nothing about Georgia should take, well, is our strength of schedule the reason why we're not where we at? Because, I mean, come on, folks. I watched Ohio State struggle against freaking Maryland. What are we doing?
Maryland, what is another team?
What, damn, Rutgers get them a run for their money at one point?
Rutgers gave them a run for their money. Penn State, hell, they almost lost against Notre Dame.
So what we talking about?
Right.
Like this is what I'm talking about. Like you literally got a team that struggled to. They should have 2 losses right now, if I'm being real. And I get it. People, you being biased because you're a Michigan fan. Part of it is that, but the other part is I'm being realistic as hell right now because you're not finna sit here and tell me that y'all talking about it, but Ohio State ain't really played nobody neither. Yeah, they played Notre Dame, but damn, they barely won that game.
I mean,
Notre Dame just barely beat somebody.
They just lost to somebody.
They just right. Oh boy, get out of
That's what I'm
here.
saying, but they rank Notre Dame high every year. Notre Dame gets ranked high every year. I don't know why.
Boy, you took the words right out of my mouth because I'm sitting there like, why is Notre Dame the all be all? Because we done seen them go undefeated just for them to get raw dogged by somebody on the big stage. What we do? All right, bro.
Because of the NBC contract, that's why they pushed them like that. Which is interesting retrospect is one of we're gonna go right into the topic for tonight. Um, as we already know, when it comes down to these Atlanta Falcons, and this was kind of brought to my attention not only by Mad Mike Sports but LT as well. They came up with an interesting question: does the national media and portions of content creators benefit from the Falcons losing football games?
Mm. Ooh, boy.
Now,
This gonna be interesting, y'all.
shout out to Mike for these statistics because as we say here, it's always a bias. It's always a certain type of bias that goes against these Atlanta Falcons. Let me ask y'all a question, people in the chat here. When the Falcons win football games compared to when the Falcons lose football games, doesn't it always seem like something is completely different? As you always say, when you're fans of the team and doing stuff like that, you would normally be keeping the same energy, whether they win or lose. But I want to ask y'all something, and I want to ask my fellow panel mates here something. Don't it always seem like it's a different energy compared from when they win to when they lose? And it ain't what y'all think neither.
Of course. I mean, yeah. Obviously. I mean, especially after this past show, I can obviously say that.
Right. Exactly. What do you think, LT? Do you think it's always a difference between when they win and when they lose? LT.
Yeah.
Nah, you heard me. Don't you think it's always a difference between when they lose and when they win? Don't it seem like the media energy is always different?
I mean, it seems that way to me. Like it's like it's a. I can't even put my finger on it. It just like it seems is more social media interactions during the losses than it is during the wins. But that could, I mean, I don't know. It just seems that way to me.
Well, I've always said there's certain people that speak on the Falcons only when they lose, but silent when they win. Because from these numbers that I got, I think Google done snitched on y'all asses.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
too.
And I use this as an example. Hold on. Let me pull these numbers up. We're just gonna go off the last 2 weeks. From Monday to game day, from the Falcons going to Tampa Bay, the Google search engine says that the numbers went up 113% from Monday to Sunday. You think that's pretty good, ain't it? About
hmm
113 is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this past weekend,
This past
from
weekend.
this past game, from Monday to Sunday, the numbers went up 195%.
Mm-hmm. 80. Yeah, that's about an 80%. Yeah, nearly 80%.
Hold on. Let me also do this again. The first two games of the year,
Oh yeah, this one here gonna kill you.
the Atlanta Falcons, as far as searching for the Atlanta Falcons, on average was at 133%.
Mm.
Guess what the average was for the next two games, the two games we lost?
The next two game we lost.
Yeah.
Which was the Lions and Jacksonville. Guess how much percentage of search that was on average. Remember, we went from 131 the first 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, the search engine went up 475%.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn.
Repeat that, Kel. Repeat that.
In the games that we lost this year, combined 4 games, majority of people that search Atlanta Falcons content search for Falcons content at a rate of almost 400% every loss.
Damn.
But every win is 100, average 130%.
Yeah, this is Google. This is nothing. This is nothing that Mad Mike and K Styles doctored up. These are Google numbers.
That's why I said Google done snitched on y'all asses, bro.
Mhm.
So what is so by hearing those type of numbers, I want everybody to ask themselves, what does that mean to you? Fellas, what does that mean to you?
This fan base is negative, or just the media itself is negative towards the Falcons.
It's a lot of people are just driven, and I this is where we are so unpopular, and we are the bad guys because we call this stuff out, and then you guys see it for yourself.
Mhm.
We call this shit out, and y'all say that we're hypocrites and we're not telling the truth. We're just being honest, but when it comes down to it, it's like we can show you the numbers. If you want to see the numbers for yourself, we can I can send it to you. All this is public information that you can see. Google, you can see it for yourself. You can keep up with it. But this is what we mean by it's like they're the Falcoholic. All these blogging dirty, all these Sports Illustrated Falcons, and a lot of these people they rely on negativity and they rely on pissing you guys off and keeping you angry instead of positivity. They don't want you to be happy about a growth of a team. They don't want you to care about your Falcons. They want you to continue to get pissed so you can type on Twitter, so you can visit their website and bitch and moan and complain, fight, argue, cuss each other out, block each other on social media. That's what they count on. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about winning. They care about lining their damn pockets and pissing you off.
Think about this for a second. Why do you think people come in here and get mad at AFN for being quote unquote optimistic? And it's a few of y'all that's in this chat right now that is guilty of that. There's a couple of y'all in here. And
So
go ahead, LT. What you got?
So with that being said, I want to point out something. Now, if these folks, if the search bar is saying that the only time the Falcons get highly searched is during losses. Now, I'm not saying people are not football fans because they look them up. Some folks might look up and see what the Falcons looking like, this, that, and the third. But 9 times out of 10, most of the people that's looking up the Falcons on Google are Falcon fans. So, with me saying that, if the numbers aren't high, what that tell you? Like if the numbers are high like that, and I'm pretty, like I said, I could guarantee most people that's looking them up are Falcon fans. That mean y'all are the people that's bringing in the negative views. The fans are. Now, to compound that, if that's the issue of what's going on, then that would mean that there's a reason why when the Falcons are successful, we don't get the courage that quote unquote y'all feel like we deserve. Y'all help push the narrative. You help it. When y'all remember back in 2016 when everybody was so upset because why the Falcons not getting coverage like they should? Because y'all spend most of the time being negative about the team. So why would they cover the team in a positive light when y'all don't even view the team as a positive? I'm just saying.
Because you have to also put into perspective that as far as as far as sports team content with their sports teams, the Atlanta Falcons have one of the smallest fan bases on the net on this platform.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. You ain't gonna find too many Falcon fans in Texas. You ain't gonna find too many Falcon fans in New York. You ain't gonna find too many Falcon fans over in the West Coast. Like either folks that probably they were raised in Georgia and relocated, due to like family upbringing, military things of that nature, or jobs. That's the only way you might see more Falcon fans across the nation. And if they not from like the South of Georgia and they're Falcon fans, 9 times out of 10 they became a fan because of who?
Michael Vick.
There you go.
Or in old school terms, Deon Sanders.
Right. So they tell you everything you need to know right there.
Now, as I listened to the realistic OGs beforehand, before we got to this show, and this is kind of where Mike and LT and everybody over here gets frustrated because like you said, it's almost a sin to find a positive in the chaos. Am I correct? And Aunt Pam said the fan base, maniac depression fan base, any negative narrative love for fan base to be pissed off. Yeah.
Listen. I'm trying to say this where I'm not really saying their name, but I'm pretty sure y'all know who I'm talking about when I say this. But when I'm gonna be honest with y'all, a decade ago, literally a decade ago, we didn't have many Falcon content creators. We didn't have Atlanta Falcon content creators. You couldn't even get on YouTube before Falcon highlights.
Oh, yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you found, like, for instance, if you found a Falcon game, it's really like somebody just somehow managed to get the game off of VCR to a jump drive and then uploaded it on YouTube. The Michael Vick run that everybody famously loves so much, you saw the play, but it was just the highlight of the play with music playing over it. Like that's where we were at a point. We did not have Falcon content creators, and then I came across these content creators because I've seen their name popped up when I did the search bar on YouTube, and at the time they were, they were actually good content creators. They were putting out things that made sense. They put out decent content, and it was like, okay, I could agree with these guys. They know what they talk about, so on and so forth. But then something changed because they went from speaking the truth to pushing a narrative.
Mm.
And even including now the Falcon Hall, they different because see they I came across them when I first downloaded Bleacher Report and their name popped up. But at a point they was okay a decade ago. But around that 2015, 2016 mark, they changed.
Mm-hmm.
They started pushing narratives. Some of the titles that I was seeing was like, what is this? So it makes you wonder like what in what world, what got planted in the air that made folks go, well, you know what we should do? We should try to help create a narrative against this team. Yeah, that's what we should do. We should create a narrative against this team. And it's wild when you think about it because like it's not like we're a hateful squad or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, people. We all want to win. We all want to be victorious. But it's a process to get there. As much as we all love and miss that 2016 team and we missed the opportunity of being Super Bowl champions, I'm here to tell y'all, dog, it ruined a lot of people because you thought this was a quick fix and it's not. It's really not. We've been fortunate. I can tell you that we've been fortunate to see success right after catastrophes. We're fortunate for that. We're fortunate that even though Jamal Anderson blew out his knee a couple times before, ultimately we had to let him go, and we drafted Michael Vick and stuff like that. Like we're fortunate that we kind of climbed back to being an average or above average team and getting into the postseason. We were fortunate that we was able to grab a Matt Ryan and go 11-5 after we went 4-12 and our franchise quarterback, who we had just gave $100 million contract to, was serving 2 years in prison. We were fortunate to bounce back from that. So, like that's what I'm saying. Like if y'all pay attention across the league instead of just the Falcons, you notice that we've actually been doing pretty well since the turn of the millennium. It might not seem like it, but we've been doing pretty decent compared to some of the teams that I've seen.
Yeah, for sure. And being me and Don and I are really outside of Falcoholic. Don and I really are the originators of this Falcons YouTube. There wasn't people doing Falcons content on YouTube like that. So this is why we are the originators. And everybody can tell you, as we said before, there wasn't people like that. We was frowned upon, when it come down to in having certain players, come on our shows, writers and coaches and whatnot, having these people on our shows. We were frowned upon as being not real journalists. So when it come down to what actually happened to that, it really just came down to 2016. People made so much money off of that team because I know because I made a lot of money. And I can be honest with you. I made $10,000 off that year. I made $10,000 that year off that Super Bowl year, and that was my first year really being monetized on it. So that entire Super Bowl year, I made 10 G's off that.
Man.
So, and I was a small content creator. Okay, I can honestly say that because, like I said, I remember that year like it was. That was a good year for me. I made 10 G's as a content creator who just had 1,000 subscribers. I made $10,000 off of that. So this is the reason why they end up And like I said, I'm being honest. Well, I'm being totally honest when I talk about the money that I made off of that year. That year, that's exactly how much I made. Still got there to this day. All right. I can show it, yeah, I can show everybody that. But that was the change. Money changes people. So when you start seeing that money and them checks get bigger, people want to do anything to get those checks. I'm not AFN is not driven by it. We absolutely love what we doing. A lot of times we do this shit, for free. Most of us are doing this shit for free.
Right.
But that's what happened. That's what turned the money by that successful year turned these content creators into greedy bastards.
Yep. We saw how things were evolving from just writing and having articles on websites to actually, doing video content. And people laughed at us thinking that, oh, y'all just doing stuff for clout, but we really wasn't. We were doing stuff to inform the fan base, because ESPN and Fox Sports and CBS Sports, they were never giving us the props that we needed, the attention that we needed. Now you got AFN pretty much is on par with ATL Cast or the Bird Nest inside the stadium. We have we have thousands of followers right now. We can walk around the city, and I'm not trying to say this to be arrogant, but we can walk around the city and go to Publix or Kroger, and I have people stop me and talk, talking football with me because of the show.
We'd be at a gas station and people walk up to us and say, "Man, dang, we love what y'all do."
Exactly. And we can go to bars and lounges and owners asking us to do shows at their lounge, and I had to pay for anything.
Shit, I'll be honest with you. Like before I even got in this thing, I didn't even know there was a such thing as a Falcon content creator. To be honest with you,
right?
I didn't even know the Falcons. I didn't even know the Falcons. They even showed anything Falcons related on YouTube.
Right.
And I watched YouTube all the time. I ain't never seen anything Falcons. Oh, I'm not late. Did you discuss why the event made a move for being smart with the cap and player development? Yeah, you probably have to go ahead and recap that early in the show. We kind of spoke on it. Like you said, pretty much with Young and Sweat. Well, that didn't sound right. Let me refresh that. The Commanders' edge rushers, Chase Young and Montez Sweat, is going.
Manscaped.
More out here on remix down Key Sweat.
Bullshit.
You may be young, but you sweaty.
Look. That should have been a pass interference right there. Somebody should just threw the flag on that one right there. That was bullshit.
Yeah. We need to call Mason Cameron real quick. Hey, yo, pause.
Mike Bell, Auntie Pam said Mike Bell is blacklisted. I don't listen to any of that anymore.
God, not blacklisted.
I'll be honest with you. I barely even listen to them.
Yeah, this is. It's like I said, it's negative driven, and this is where we get a bad name, because we're forcing people to look at both styles of content and say which one is real, because they can't get rid of us.
Yeah, boy,
we hold a certain standard. We hold a certain standard when it comes down to positivity, and so when people look at us, it's like, damn, but y'all don't sound like everybody else. Well, you decide. You heard me say this time and time again. You look at their content, look at their content, and you make the decision on what you think is truth.
Look, I always say it like this, man. Y'all looking at a group of folks that ain't never been popular, ain't never been one of the in crowd. And let me tell you something. I don't try to be that. And that's
I,
why I appreciate this group right here. Like I said, we are outcasts in this Falcon content group, and we proud of it. And we appreciate everybody that just comes in and tune in.
I was too busy telling my teachers to shut the fuck up to care about people like me.
I mean, and I'm here to tell y'all, folks, we are definitely outcasted. 2 years ago, when they first started Spaces on Twitter, I was doing the space a week, doing full breakdown. Some of y'all that's on here probably know about that because y'all been in some of them and heard us talk. It was to the point that folks literally was having a conversation with me and screen recorded the space that I was holding, asking me a question. But again, this is what we mean when we say creating narratives, because the narrative that was created was me being like a diehard Matt Ryan fan, but you missed like a whole 10 minutes of the previous conversation. So, and then like when I noticed anything, the screen record video that was made its way around social media to the point I have folks on my Facebook, and mindful, nobody on my Facebook, like there's really nobody on my Facebook friends that follows me on Twitter. Like I don't deal with people from my hometown on Twitter. And folks was literally like realizing who it was, and they was inboxing me on my Facebook messages like, bruh, like what the hell was going on here? Somebody trying to create a narrative on you.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're not liked because we don't sound like everybody else, and that's the thing. You know, we stand on the truth, and a lot of times, even myself at times, I don't want to hear the truth. You know, you don't want to hear the truth. The truth is the truth. The truth it makes you uncomfortable. The truth forces you to look at yourself, to look at what really is. And sometimes, you know, because we want what we want, or we in our feelings about something, you don't want to accept the truth. This is why we stand on it. It's like you can't. A lot of people can't deny what we say that is true. Why? Because we don't go by our own logic. We use the facts, the stats, and the truth. That's what it's all about. Whether you want to hear it or not. But for the most part, I can honestly say about 90 to 95% of things that we say end up coming true. Why? Because we're educating ourselves and we're sitting down and we're having conversations with these legends, as we always say.
And we always say, man, we learning the game. We're learning the game with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We learning that from, and like you said, most of us have played football within us, within our past times and stuff like that. But as far as looking at it from this perspective, like you said, we're still learning just as much as anybody else. But we're just one of the ones that's willing to learn the nuances of this game and do it together. Man, at the end of the day, man, it like you said, rather somebody be objective, critical, optimistic, pessimistic, or negative. One person isn't better than the next person.
Right.
But the problem is when you have the majority which majority of the people of the fan bases of the people that are always screaming, moaning, bitching, complaining. You get the same complaints in the wins than you do and the losses. So it's a continuous cycle. And then it's like that is like you got that crowd of people, which is their majority, going after the people that's looking at both spectrums of what is the positive, what is the negatives that we see. We can highlight bad plays and horrible decision makings, but we can also highlight some good stuff. But the difference with us is we're not going to base all our content on just the bullshit part of it. And to be honest with you, y'all don't deserve that. Y'all deserve to hear from both spectrums, whether it be positive or negative.
Yeah.
But
Please,
don't
God.
but don't let these motherfuckers out here tell y'all that y'all being positive or y'all being optimistic is a bad thing. Because that's the battle we fight every day.
Exactly.
And as far as saying, like these guys that they I haven't got a chance to meet some of those guys. Well, one of them I do know because his grandmother from down here. Rest in peace, Miss Dorothy Parrish. But I have played against NFL talent that y'all know of. The likes of Jeremy Mincey. I know him personally and whatnot. Grew up, played football. I didn't play high school ball with him because, of course, he was much older. But I have played like backyard ball with him and whatnot. That's one of the main reasons why I got my toughness from. I played against him and his boys where they won the state title back in '01. I saw guys like D'Angelo Tyson who won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens in 2012. I played against Justin Houston, who's this man could with the stats and the accolades that he got, he could be well on his way to king. But these are guys that I know and played against, and I've talked to these guys whenever they home or whatever, and when we talk football, Jeremy tell me from time to time, bro, why you ain't ever really thought about just coaching? I got love for the game, but the game changed. I'm old school.
Right.
So it's not like we just be saying stuff to be saying it. Like we have legitimate people that knows us or gotten to know us, and they'll tell us like, "Hey, you know what you're talking about."
I just think it's a damn shame that it had to come down to stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like Larry Mom here, she said, I get told all the time that I'm stupid for being positive, but it's not my fault. They weren't loved as children.
Yeah.
I mean, right.
Oh, there we got let me see. Let's see, we got some more. Brian people said he grew up watching Abraham when he played at Lamar High School.
Oh boy.
All I'm saying is a lot of y'all saw Cam Newton, and I did too. When the Statesboro Blue Devils had to play them, I think what high school he went to, was it Westlake?
Yeah, he went to Westlake. I played against Cam in middle school.
Yeah, and that man, good God, he raw dog Statesboro that night. I've had battles with like I said, with these guys like down in my area. You know, if anybody know anything about the CSRA, like Savannah area, you have this such thing called the WTO Super 11. That's like the all state team or all area team or whatnot. And like I'm telling you, like them boys like Justin Houston and D'Angelo Tyson, them boys was on that list. They were that good. So what you saw for like Houston in his career, he was legitimate that good. But you want to know the wild part about that young man? He wasn't even the best player on their defense. They had a nose guard that was 6'4", 350 pounds, and that Alex Deacon. And the man was a load. Pause. But he was that good.
Basket. But yeah, like you said, it's a lot of stories that go behind this and why everybody has been Falcon fans. We have Falcon fans that lived through the era, that lived through the 70s. We got Falcon fans that's lived through the 80s. We got Falcon fans that started in the 90s, the Michael Vick era, the Matt Ryan era. Like you said, you got people that are season ticket holders. You got people that may not be season ticket holders. The thing about it is, it don't make nobody better than the next person.
I'll definitely have to tell y'all, I've been a fan since Jeff George, and that's like mid-90s.
Like I said, I remember listening to the radio, listening to Chris Miller's name getting called, causing my dad to throw shit around the house. Yeah, I know. But I didn't really focus on to the game until the 98 season with the Dirty Birds 98 season. But like I said, I don't say I'm a better Falcon fan than somebody that's a season ticket holder. Like I said, I know season ticket holders that are not Falcon fans that just got season tickets just to sell tickets.
Quite a few of them out there.
Oh yeah, it is.
I know Falcon fans that only been watching the team for maybe 4 or 5 years that are more loyal to the logo than the motherfucker that claim he watched the team for over 40 years. But we're gonna damn continue this conversation later on in the week. Like you said, this is the final day that we are gonna be even remotely be remembrance of this past week. We are going into week 9. So Wednesday heavy hitters live. Like you said, 6-man K Styles, Mad Mike Sports, Don and Jew Talk Sports. Boy, I remember Ford County Stadium, boy.
Boy. That
Jesus
bitch was
Christ.
empty as hell.
I remember about it in the fall time, and back then fall was cold. And coming down in the stadium, man, you thought you was gonna freeze to death.
Bro,
I remember that.
Bro, I remember. I like I said, I went to one game in Ford County that I got lucky enough to actually go to my first game at the Georgia Dome before they tore it down, which was that Super Bowl year. So like I said, we ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer. We got the Loch Ness guys over at AFN coming up, man. So y'all make sure you go over to Atlanta Falcon Nation and tune into the Loch Ness podcast, where they will be talking about the Falcons Vikings matchup as well as other topics. So until next time, people, we ain't here to play.
Oh no,
we here to stay.
Oh yeah, dig it.
You ain't gotta go home,
but you got to get the hell up out of here. Oh yeah.
And y'all still ain't staying on business. I ain't forget that shit.
Yeah, they still ain't stood on their business. But they got spared today.
for the time being.
For the time being, until somebody says something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.